Story time about anxious avoidant attachment syndrome and how I feel that this can be made, or a person can be made to be like this. But I first want to say that I think it's important that we understand that talking about how we got here is not necessarily blaming or being a victim to how we got here. Just because we talk about situations from the past doesn't mean that those past situations or the people or the relationships that we were in, quote, didn't do their best. And even if they didn't do their best, it doesn't mean that we're blaming them or that we don't like these people. It's just describing how this manifested in us. And if it were anxiety or if it were depression or bipolar or schizophrenia, many people would have a lot of patience or a lot of grace behind those individuals that do have these sort of attachment issues. Because that's easy to see. We can look at depression and anxiety or bipolar and go, okay, there's a chemical imbalance going on there. But what you need to understand is when you have a detachment or attachment disorder, what has actually happened is that you have experienced over and over and over again the same type of situation in response to your behaviors, to the way that you communicate to the world. And so you've been kind of programmed to change your behavior based on the stimuli of the people around you or the situations around you. Just like you learn not to touch a hot stove, you learn not to communicate, or that communication is, dangerous or futile. It's very, very cause and effect. So no one wants to have an attachment disorder. No one chooses to have an attachment disorder. It's just how you've gotten yourself to this place. And the reason that I'm talking about it is because of the fact that I didn't have the language. I didn't even know that this was a thing until the last couple weeks. I thought that this was just how life was. But now that I have language, now that I have hey, these things happened, and now this is the way that you're responding to the world around you, I am getting better each and every single day. My husband the other day, and there was a couple comments on on TikTok here about, the things that you're describing have nothing to do with an attachment disorder. And my response to that is if there is another human involved in any way, shape, or form, then my attachment disorder is triggered. So it doesn't matter if it's a client or a friend or family member. If there's another human involved, my attachment disorder is definitely triggered. So I'm going to talk about some of the things that I feel have gotten me to this place. And maybe that will help somebody.